Hi, it's Vishali here at Stamford Bridge after Chelsea's 4-1 win over Peterborough United in the FA Cup third round. I'm going to look back briefly at the game and what I thought were the positives for Antonio Conte's side. Now, he seemed to think there were a lot of positives taken away from the game. Indeed, there were. Now, the first one I want to start off with is Nathaniel Chalobah and Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Both of them started here today. Both of them were very impressive. Chalobah kept the ball really well. He was, heavily involved in Chelsea's attacks. Ruben Loftus-Cheek could have scored today. He handed Peterborough's defence a lot of work with his runs forward. He was involved in many of the chances that Chelsea created, and I think they both showed Conte what their potential and what they can offer. Now, Loftus-Cheek has been linked with a loan move away this month, and despite the fact that he performed really well, I do think that perhaps a loan move may be a good idea for him, because it would give him the opportunity to play week in and week out until the end of the season, because there is such fierce competition for places, and game time may be limited if he stays. Another really good positive takeaway for Chelsea is the form of Pedro and Willian. Now, Willian, of course, had to deal with the tragic loss of his mother this season, but since he's come back, he's been scoring. He's looking very, very good. Pedro scored 2 goals today. He probably could have got a hat-trick. I mean, he looks like he's got the confidence now to try and go for goal whenever he gets into the box. So they're kind of giving Conte a really, really nice kind of dilemma on that right flank. You've got Eden Hazard, who starts on the left flank for Chelsea. On the other flank, Conte now has 2 very, very good options to use, Pedro and Willian, both of whom are scoring and are full of confidence. Another good thing for Conte and Chelsea fans was the return of Zouma from that serious knee injury that he sustained against Manchester United here early last season. Zouma, of course, is quite a tall guy, so when the ball was being crossed into the box, he showed just what he can bring aerially, and despite looking a little bit rusty early on, he also showed that he's gotten used to this 3-man defence. I mean, he's been playing it in the development side, and so I think you'll see him getting more game time as the season goes on. A little note now on Michy Batshuayi. He scored a goal, but up until that goal, I felt he looked a bit anxious, and I think in a lot of ways that is understandable, because he hasn't played for so long. He's been largely used as a substitute, despite starting the season off quite well when he scored that Premier League goal against Watford, and he scored those 2 goals against Bristol Rovers here in the EFL Cup. The goal will obviously help him. Conte was very happy with his performance, despite the fact that there were moments on the pitch when he chose to go for goal. He picked out the wrong pass, despite having, for example, Willian free to try and score. But overall, a very, very good afternoon for Chelsea. The only bad thing was obviously John Terry sending off, and obviously his contract runs out in the summer. So in what could be potentially his last season at the club, it's turning out to be a bit of a disappointing one for him, with injuries and of course this red card that Conte confirmed. Chelsea may well look to appeal. Next up for the Blues is Leicester, the champions in the Premier League, which I will be covering for Standard Sport.